Chuck, I've got one of your new bows here. Tell me a little bit about this bow.
Well, it starts with coda being a Native American word for friend, so we tried to design a bow that would be your friend out in the bush, out in the woods. And some traditional approaches, but some very high-tech elements as well. Trigger system we think is exceptional, and we have a kind of a hybrid recurve system with dual limbs, and that's between the trigger system and the recurve limbs. Some stuff from the military, not trying to go tactical, but in the field when you're hunting, there's a lot of features on this bow that really make it pretty nice in the field.
Well, we were very impressed. We actually put this bow together today.
Right, just a few minutes ago.
Just a few minutes ago.
It was crazy.
And got to shoot it. Really surprised about how well it fit. Was that part of the design mode and how
sure.
you put it together?
A little bit, you know, when you take a fine firearm, you pick it up and you look for seams in the workmanship. And so you almost see some of that type of classic craftsmanship coming out in this bow. And for example, there's a seam there where metal meets metal, and it's very hard to see. But sure, I think when you're trying to make a precision product that's going to shoot accurately, a lot of precision is really, really good. And so we've had hunters take this bow to Wyoming, take it all apart, put it back together, and they drop me a note and say, I'm amazed, you know, it's shooting right where it was before. Well, that's not a surprise to us.
Now, why the recurve? I knew you went with recurve limbs. Why was that a choice in choosing?
There's an awful lot of compound styles in crossbows, but again, kind of from the friend aspect, a user can take this bow and change its string. They can take the bow down a fairly large degree and restring the bow in the field if they're traveling. So the concept was really simplicity in this area, take a lot of the magic and complexity away from it. And certainly, I know we were talking a few minutes ago, you've got a friend going to Africa. You know, 2 minutes in the blind in Africa, if you nick your bowstring with a broadhead, right, you're pretty much, you know, 7 hours back to Johannesburg. So some of that thinking, and all of a sudden your bow is no longer your friend. And our thinking was kind of, let's attack it a different way.
Absolutely. And when you're going to spend that much for a hunt to go to Africa, or you're going to spend that much for a Western big game hunt, you're definitely going to want a tool that, you know, if something goes wrong, it's going to be easy to be fixed.
Exactly.
And easy to sight in. I mean, we shot this bow the third shot, it was shooting dead on. First shot and quick adjustment, it was actually the second shot that was shooting dead on. So,
and you know what's impressive, and that's not unusual. This scope had never been on this bow. It was really a fresh factory scope, so it's optically centered. And so we really designed the bow so that when you take an optic and put it on, that you're not putting in 50 clicks to get it on target. The idea is that the scope comes from an optics manufacturer with an optical center, and let's make the bow. So it wasn't by accident that happened.
Right, right. Well, and the Picatinny rails and everything, being able to adjust and put the things that you need on your bow.
A lot of options. Yeah, a lot of options for the user. A vertical grip, you can take this grip off and put a different grip on. We have some basics that shouldn't be taken off the bow, like a hand guard. Very important to keep your hand out of the string path when shooting a crossbow. But there's a lot of users that really enjoy this type of flexibility. And again, an adjustable stock makes it pretty amenable to a young shooter, or even when you're cocking a crossbow with a rope cocker, to get some of that stock out of your way so you can get over the bow.
Yeah. And I was definitely impressed with this, being able to adjust it for different body sizes and things along that line, and help bring in some new shooters into them.
Well, we had a young lady who, I mean, was shooting with us today, and she did extremely well. And, you know, I think that's part of the attraction here for crossbows, because certainly a lot of young folks today, they're on the go, they're busy, and it's not fun not to hit the target. I mean, it's a lot more fun when you can hit the target. And, you know, we saw a great example of that today with Brittany, when she just... You're going to try to put your shoulder on that stock. Okay, so you're going to have to kind of snuggle in there. You're going to take your left hand and put it up here. Okay, you're going to take your right hand and put it down on this grip here where my hand is. Okay, keep your finger out of the trigger. Good shooting form will be to have your finger like on the side of the trigger like this. Don't put it in the trigger till we're ready to shoot. Okay. Ready? Ready? Yeah. Okay, we're on fire. So move your thing. Squeeze the trigger when you're ready to go. There. Where did we go? Did you go right through? I don't know. Let's go take a look.
Is that fast or what?
Did it go in it?
Yeah. If you aim for the bottom red dot, you were going to hit the top red dot.
Oh.
Okay? Because that's the way it's sized. So I put a red dot for you to aim, knowing you would hit that one.
That's
Look at that.
perfect.
Huh? What do you think?
I think I'm pretty skilled.
That's pretty good.
Should have been an archery.
Huh? Well, come over. This was your aiming point. That was where I knew it would impact if you hit your aiming point. So you wouldn't have hit there if you weren't dead on there. So if you move back to 20 or 30 yards, it will hit exactly at your aiming point.
Okay.
Because we're a little close. That's why it's shooting high. But that was a
Perfect shot.
I would say a perfect shot. You agree?
I agree.
I agree. Good.
Fantastic. And I really liked the safety on this. It was a very crisp, clean safety and a crisp, clean trigger, to be honest with you. And it really looks like you guys made a tremendous effort in designing that and making it done.
We put a lot of effort into the trigger, and like on a good a firearm or any good product, there should be there's a feel that you can appreciate. So moving from safe to fire, there's a detent there. You feel you're clearly in safe. You go over a little hill, and then you're back in a valley when you go into fire, so you know you're there. And it's pretty. If you're sitting in a tree stand, the safety is where it should be, where you can kind of boom, you're ready to go. Or if you're in a ground blind or something, your thumb is where you're ready to shoot. And small things like that. How we kind of machined a groove here for the sling, the front sling. It's kind of elegant in a way. You don't have a sling swivel, you don't have noise. The sling will never come off the bow. And it was something that we just thought of as we were going through the design process. So in some ways, there's a lot of new things here that really have not been done before in a crossbow. And that's why we think it's kind of special.
Well, and you definitely built a bow that is a tool and can be a friend to you out there in the woods. So a lot of our viewers are going to be very interested in your company. How can they go and research you?
Go to www.kodabow.com.
Okay.
KODABOW.com, and there's some good information on there. There's some videos. What we didn't show here was how easy it is to de-string the bow. You and I saw that when because again, a few minutes ago, we didn't even have a string on this bow. We built it up, from the ground up. But it allows the user to adjust the string, put a few more twists in it if they choose to, replace the string in the field if it's worn. So there's elements like that come with the bow that are, we think kind of neat.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you guys also have a Facebook page? And,
yeah, KODABOW Facebook. There's good interest there. We're getting more and more friends every day. And there's really there's a group I think who really likes to hunt and appreciates the fact that this bow is really nice for hunting. But it also comes with black limbs. And there's I think another group out there that likes kind of the black rifle or black military tactical look of the bow. And so it has maybe something for everybody.
Fantastic, fantastic. Guys, once you shoot this bow, you'll definitely want to become a fan. Check out their Facebook page, KODABOW, and please go to their website, www.kodabow.com. And guys, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
And Kevin, thank you. HuntingLife.com. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Appreciate it.